Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be solving a functional equation from Slovenia. We have for all xy element of the set of real numbers, f of x minus f of y equals 1 minus x minus y. So this R represents the set of real numbers. And we're going to be looking for f of x. Alright, so let's go ahead and start by replacing x and y with certain values. I'm going to start by replacing x with 0 and y with 1. That's going to give me the following. F of 0 minus f of 1 equals 1 minus 0 minus 1, which is 0. So, by replacing x with 0 and y with 1, I was able to get a 0 on the right-hand side, which is important. So let's see what happens. This gives me f of negative f of 1 equals 0. Now I want to know, obviously, f of 0 at some point maybe, so for functional equations that's important, but also at the same time what matches up with 0. So let's go ahead and call this, since f of 1 is constant, negative f of 1 is also constant, so we can call that c. So let's go ahead and call this c. Okay, so hopefully you see what I see. And here we get negative f of 1 equals c. This gives us f of 1 equals negative c. So that's something we might use later. So let's save it. Great. So now I'm going to go back to the original equation. Let me rewrite it for you. F of x minus f of y equals 1 minus x minus y. Great. Now I'm going to be replacing x, actually not x. I'm going to be replacing y with c. The reason being is I have that f of c is equal to 0, so that's kind of nice. And if I replace y with c, I'm getting f of c inside the parentheses. So that's important. And what am I doing with x? Nothing. So x stays as is, but replace y with c. This gives us f of x minus f of c equals, now since I'm replacing y with c and x with nothing, or just x with x, I can just write the right-hand side as 1 minus x minus c. Remember, c is a constant. Okay, great. So now let's go back here, and we now know that f of 1 is equal to negative c, but we do have f of c, right? What is that supposed to mean? Well, from here we already got that f of c is equal to 0, since we call that c. So we have these two equations, right? So f of c is equal to 0, so I can just replace f of c with 0 here. What is that supposed to mean? It means that I'm getting f of x from here. Great. So this gives us f of x equals 1 minus x minus c. Awesome. So I was able to get f of x. Well, this is not the end of it, because I still need to figure out what c is. C is a constant, but we can hopefully determine that. Now, here's what I'm going to do next. Since I got the form of f of x, it's basically linear in this case, and I do have the general equation, I can just plug it in, right? Let's go ahead and replace x with x minus f of y by using the original equation and then using the rule that we got here. So it's going to be like 1 minus whatever the argument is. In this case, it's x minus f of y, right? Minus c. So we just replace the x with x minus f of y. So I should probably point this way and that way. Great. So now this gives us an equation, but guess what? We also know that f of x minus f of y equals something from this original equation. So we're going to set those two equal to each other. Hopefully this makes sense. Let me go ahead and simplify this a little bit. F of x minus f of y is equal to 1 minus x plus f of y minus c. And from the original equation, from the original problem, we know that this is equal to 1 minus x minus y. So this is equal to 1 minus x minus y. Great. So let me rewrite it, because that doesn't look that good when they're not written on the same line. So let's go ahead and write it this way. Great. So that's the equality I have. And from here, guess what? I can find f of y. Let's do it. And you know why, right? Okay. We can cancel out the 1 minus x. And here we get f of y equals c minus y. And c is a constant again, right? Great. So now since f of y is a variable, c is a constant, and I have the variable on both sides, And since this is defined from, all real numbers to real numbers, I can just replace y with something else, like x. If f of y is equal to c minus y, that means f of x is equal to c minus x. But guess what? We already have a form for f of x. Remember what we found? F of x is also equal to 1 minus x minus c. So why don't we just set it equal to that? And from here, we can determine what c is, because negative x is going to cancel out. Let's go ahead and cancel out the negative x. And that gives us 2c, or not 2c, 2b or not 2b. 2c equals 1, and c equals 1/2. Now, you can go either way. It doesn't really matter which equation you use. I could probably use f of x equals c minus x, which can also be written as negative x plus c. And since c is equal to 1/2, I can basically write f of x as negative x plus 1/2. Now, if you go ahead and plug it into the original equation, you're going to notice that this satisfies the given equation, and this gives us the solution. And this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Until then, be safe, take care, and bye-bye.